So much would happen in this world if we just get rid of all the shame that we carry around sex, and all the worry and the stress and the, everything around toys. And I'm just here to tell you that, I was going to say I'm not a toy pusher, but I kind of am a toy pusher because I think that the benefits definitely outweigh whatever is holding you back. You're listening to Sex with Emily. I'm Dr. Emily, and I'm here to help you prioritize your pleasure and liberate the conversation around sex. Life is short, so why not add sex toys to your pleasure routine? Now, I know that vulva owners seem to understand this. Most pleasure products are purchased by vulva owners, but today I am talking toys for penises. Whether you have one or you want to please one, sex toys offer tons of benefits. Plus, toys are not just for solo play. They can enhance connection and pleasure with your partner. But I get it. It can be so difficult to know what to look for, how to use them, which ones to buy, why you might need them at all. And that's why in today's episode, I'm myth-busting misconceptions and sharing my top products and tips for penile pleasure, from lasting harder and longer to discovering those pleasure points a hand alone simply cannot reach. So if there's a penis in your life, I've got the toy for it. Intentions with Emily. For each episode, join me in setting an intention for the show. So when you're listening, what do you want to get out of this episode? How do you think this episode can help you? My intention is to normalize sex toys for the penis owner in your life, whether it's those hard to reach pleasure points or unlocking new connections with a partner. There is just no reason not to incorporate sex toys into your routine. Please rate and review Sex with Emily wherever you listen to the show. Check out my YouTube channel, social media, and TikTok. It's all Sex with Emily for more sex tips and advice. If you want to ask me a question, leave me your questions or message me at sexwithemily.com/assemily or call my hotline, 559-TALK-SEX or 559-825-5739. Just include your name, your age, where you live, and how you listen to the show. And it's totally cool to change your name or choose to remain anonymous. All right, everyone, enjoyed this episode. By now, you've probably heard my magic wand story. It's a brand that's been part of my personal journey for more than 20 years. But no matter how many times I sing Magic Wand's praises, I'll never be able to fully capture the story of this incredible brand. Well, now journalist and author Kate Sloan just completed a limited audio series documenting the history and impact that Magic Wand has created over the last 56 years. It's called Making Magic. And the series chronicles Magic Wand's incredible brand story through interviews with nearly 40 experts, performers, business owners, educators, and fans. So I got a sneak preview of the series, and what I loved is that Kate weaves together snippets from all their interviews into this amazing story arc. She covers Magic Wand's journey from appliance store massager to its legendary influence on culture and sexual independence, and it's all just fascinating. The first episodes of Making Magic are available now at makingmagicseries.com or on all popular podcast platforms. Just search for Making Magic or visit makingmagicseries.com today. All right, let's talk sex toys for the penis in your life. Whether you're a penis owner or you just want to please one, toys will increase and amp up your pleasure in a really major way. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, I've got a hand or I've got a partner. Why do I need to use a toy? Well, the reason why we love to stimulate all these pleasure points in our body, with hands or penises and vulvas, and why sex feels so good is because we have nerve endings all over our body. But toys will stimulate nerve endings that our hand just can't reach. So we're experiencing even more pleasure. A lot of us get into masturbation ruts. We do the same thing over and over again. Well, guess what? A toy is going to get you out of that rut. And toys can also enhance connection with a partner. I know a lot of people think toys take away something from a partner or toys are going to replace you, but not at all. In fact, couples who use toys report that it actually enhances their intimacy because it's something new and it's novel and you can use them during partnered sex, so that is increasing all the novelty and enhancing trust. So toys are fun. And there's also some interesting health benefits to toys. So I understand that there is some stigma, all right? There's stigma around sex toys for penis owners. So before I get into how to use them and I get into your questions, let's just clear out the myths, right? I love busting myths on this show, okay? So there's a myth that sex toys are just for vulva owners, which I understand because we're always hearing about sex toys for vulva owners. And the truth is the majority of them made are for vulva owners. And men are less likely to use them than people from other genders. And according to a 2022 research, Women double men in sex toy ownership. And during the pandemic, half of vulva owners said they use toys, but only 23.6% of penis owners use a toy. So here's the reality. Every gender can use sex toys, and that number is growing all the time. The other myth, I have a partner, I don't need one. And this one just makes me laugh. People say that about lube too. Like, I don't need lube, or I don't need a toy. How about you just want one because it feels so good? Toys are going to stimulate nerve endings so internal that your flesh alone, your hand or your partner's body just can't stimulate them. But they're there. Don't you want to stimulate them? I mean, and toys can definitely be incorporated into partner sex, as you know. It is not binary here. It's not toys versus partner. And there was a study in 2020 that said that 61% of respondents said they buy toys for themselves and their partners. I love that that's changing. 10 years ago, it was only at 50%. Now we're at 61%. So much would happen in this world if we just get rid of all the shame that we carry around sex, and all the worry and the stress and the, everything around toys. And I'm just here to tell you that I was going to say I'm not a toy pusher, but I kind of am a toy pusher because I think that the benefits definitely outweigh whatever's holding you back. So before we get into the specific benefits, let's just real quick go over some basic anatomy and all the places penis owners can use toys, or you can use the toys on the penis in your life. All right, there's the shaft. That is the long part of the penis. There's the head, the tip. That's the nerve-packed tip of the penis. That is typically the most sensitive. And then there's a frenulum, and this is just a band of tissue that connects the foreskin to the head, if you have foreskin. And if not, it's just the part where the foreskin was, okay? So it's essentially the spot on the underside of the penis where the shaft meets the head. As you make your way down, we have the testicles and the scrotum, or the balls. These are just two small organs responsible for making sperm, also responsible for producing the hormone testosterone. Then we have the pelvic floor, the perineum. And just remember, the pelvic floor is just those bowl of muscles. Yes, we all have pelvic floors that sit at the base of your torso, and they're the ones that spasm during orgasm. So those are the muscles responsible for orgasm. And then we have the perineum, also called the taint. That is just the skin between the scrotum and the anus. And that area also offers indirect stimulation to the prostate. So let's talk about the prostate. That is the internal walnut-shaped gland accessible via the anus, and only penis owners have a prostate. Now, there is a misconception that the penis owner's enjoyment of stimulation of a prostate is connected to their sexual orientation, but this is just not true at all. And it can feel amazing when stimulated. So I encourage all penis owners to explore their prostate. Toys are a great way to do it, or with a finger, or with a penis. Now we've got the basics out of the way. You can picture the penis in your mind. Let's discuss the benefits, all right? Here are the benefits. Number one, like I've said, but I'm going to break this down for you. Sex toys stimulate nerve endings in a very specific way that like a finger or a penis or parts of your body just won't be able to reach every time, and your hands don't vibrate, right? So it just feels different. So this really diversifies and amps your pleasure. For example, like the perineum. The perineum, again, is that area that's in between the butt and the genitals, right? And you can stimulate that area indirectly from the outside. And there's a nerve there called the pudendal nerve, and that nerve is related to orgasm, and you're indirectly stimulating the prostate. And you can stimulate that with vibrating toys, and that can feel incredible. There's also the frenulum, which is that little area on the underside of the penis, of the tip of the penis. Toys can also stimulate these pleasure receptors, and that can feel incredible as well. And I think that when I tell a lot of penis owners, it's like, oh yeah, that's the area I always focus on. Well, there are toys you can use to stimulate that area. Another benefit, they just help you break out of the rut. Penis owners often report to me that they can only orgasm in one way. They're like, it has to be very specific. I need to grip my hand in this way. I can only do this rhythm, or I can't orgasm at all. So using toys can help you mix up your masturbation routine and find that there's other paths to pleasure, because there are many paths to pleasure. That's what I love about toys. They help you get there. So the stimulations we get from vibrations are positively correlated with increased desire and overall sexual pleasure and function. So when you are adding a little vibration to the mix, that is stimulating blood flow. And blood flow is what's responsible for erection and eventually for orgasm. Like without blood flow, you're not going to get erect, and you're not going to have an orgasm. But when you use a vibrator, it just helps the whole process and feels incredible. So what the study said specifically is increased genital blood flow and sensations provoked by a vibrator use are interpreted positively by individuals, thus enhancing desire. And let me just say this. Whenever I've faced resistance from penis owner and I've said, this is my personal experience, and I've said, try this. How does this feel? They all love it. They're like, bring that toy with us every single time. So however you can get your partner to, or yourself just to kind of experience it and try it out, I think you're going to like it. Okay. And for vulva owners, if you are sharing your toy with a penis owner, sometimes vulva owners like toys on a really high setting, the most intense setting. But when you're using this toy with a penis, you want to use it on the lowest setting and go from there. Test it, see how it feels. People with disabilities, you might have challenges using your hands, and there's a lot of hand-free toys that will help you out and feel incredible. Another benefit is they enhance our connection with a partner. And you can use most, if not all, of these toys I'm talking about during partnered sex. And that definitely increases the novelty because a lot of us just get bored doing the same thing over and over again. And toys help you discover new pleasure spots. So this is really useful data for when you're having partnered sex. Like maybe you used a toy, you explored your prostate, or you used a toy around your balls, or you're playing with your perineum and you're like, oh, I just found this new spot that feels great. Well, that's when you get to transfer this information to a partner. So it's almost like we're writing our own owner's manual and then passing that off to a lover. Because they don't always know what to do. How great if we show up fully educated and the experts of our own body and our own pleasure. And lastly, there are a lot of benefits to using sex toys. There was a study in 2018 that said that vibratory stimulation has evidence-based support for the treatment of erectile dysfunction, ejaculatory dysfunction, and inability to orgasm. I want to remind you that regular masturbation also works out the pelvic floor muscles, which are important muscles to strengthen. They can help with erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. And when you use a toy like a stroker, it helps to engage the pelvic floor muscles and engorge with blood more quickly than with the hand. It just sort of speeds things up. And to me, that's not a cheat. That's not a weakness. That's like, I know that this stroker that vibrates is going to feel incredible and it's going to get me there, and even can help train your body as well to understand your ejaculatory control, to understand your body better. And over time, this can help make orgasm stronger and harder and improves the vascularity of the penis, which again is all about blood flow. The other health benefit is massaging the prostate, which helps to release excess seminal fluid. Now, seminal fluid is fluid that mixes with the sperm to create semen. But the problem is seminal fluid can get backed up in the prostatic duct. So the benefits of this release is that it helps to ease inflammation of the prostate. It helps reduce the risk of prostate cancer and other prostate conditions like prostatitis. It can help with erectile dysfunction and can make ejaculation less painful. So get to know your prostate. So let's get into some tips and techniques before I get into your questions. So I think you all understand now there are some benefits here to using a toy if you have a penis. But let me break them down specifically. Like now that you know this, how will you use them? So I talked about strokers a little bit. Masturbation sleeves and strokers are used synonymously, but they're a little bit different how they're built. So there's textured tubes, and these are made of stretchy, porous material that wraps around the penis to simulate penetrative sex. Now, some of these sleeves, which you may have seen, can resemble a vulva, or they can feel like an anus. They can resemble an anus. They can be more abstract. They might not look like a vulva. Some do. And it can come in a tube, or it can be egg-shaped. Those are the sleeves. And essentially use them when you're masturbating, or a partner can use them on you when they're masturbating. And it just feels great because, again, it's on your hand. And the material that it's made out of just feels really great against all those nerve endings. Sometimes they're vibrating. Sometimes they're just contoured. Either way, they can feel great. Use these strokers on your own when you're masturbating. For many, I recommend edging. So if you ejaculate before you want to, sometimes called premature ejaculation, this is a strengthening technique of edging, of masturbating until you get to the point where you're about to ejaculate. And then you bring it back down again to like a 7 or 8. So if you think of the scale of 10 is where you're going to ejaculate, and 1 is you're just not erect at all. You start to masturbate until you're about at 8 or 9, and then you bring it back down to about a 4 or 5. And then you go back up again and you repeat this a few times and you'll have a more intense finish. Your orgasm will be a lot stronger when you edge and you tease yourself. And a stroker is a great way to do this. Also, you can use a stroker during partnered play, which is really fun to use this for mutual masturbation. I love using a stroker, and you always want to add some lube to it. Feels amazing. Tenga makes a really cool toy, which is the Flip Zero Masturbator. And essentially there's soft ridges inside of this toy, and that has these strong vacuum sensations. All right. So your penis is put inside of this masturbator and it delivers suction and like a forced stimulation. And it can feel incredible. I'm just saying. Gotten great feedback on this. And don't forget, you need lube for all of these toys. Definitely. Don't forget the lube. Never forget the lube. Just have the lube on your nightstand. So let's talk about penis rings, aka cock rings. There are 2 different kinds essentially, but they fit snugly around the base of the penis and they help keep it hard. So there's just the ring that doesn't vibrate. They can help penis strengthen their erections by promoting blood flow. But these days, vibrating rings are also really, really popular, again, because vibrations feel amazing. They can be great for hand-free stimulation of your penis if you're using it on your own or with a partner. Because with a partner, a lot of these toys, the vibrating rings, have clitoral stimulation. So if you're having penetrative sex, you have this ring at the base of your penis. Not only will it help you stay hard, but it's providing this clitoral stimulation. Most vulva owners require clitoral stimulation during penetrative sex. It can help a lot of vulva owners reach orgasm during penetrative sex with the use of a penis ring. There's different variations of penis rings. Most of them are one size fits most or one size fits all. So for some, before you're erect, you want to stretch around the penis and the testicles, because once you get erect and the penis is already snug in place, it can feel great to stimulate testicles and your penis. So again, a lot of these are made for solo and partner play. I really love Jeju has a Mio cock ring. I've had this one for years and it is the top one that I use. Jeju, I don't know if I've talked about them to you guys lately, but they are a luxury sex toy company. They've been operating now for nearly a decade. I have to say that Jeju is one of the companies that actually launched my whole passion for sex toys. They sent me one called the Mimi that I talked about in a show about 15 years ago, and people went crazy and bought this toy, but their cock ring is epic. Jeju products are known for these deep, rumbly sensations. These deep, rumbly sensations feel great on the penis and also on the clitoris. And here's something awesome. Jeju is currently offering a 30% discount to Sex with Emily listeners. Plus, you get a free toe pad with every Hera and Juno purchase. So the Hera is their new toy, Hera, and it is a rabbit style vibe. It's like a dual stimulation toy, and I friggin' love it. Just use code Emily30, that's Emily30 at checkout at jeju.com. That's JEJOUE.com. Check out all their toys. I literally cannot recommend them enough. I'm a huge fan. All right. Let's talk about wand vibrators for a minute. All right. So wand vibrators have a long shaft attached to a bulbous vibrating head. They're really versatile. They're for external use. However, you can really effectively use it externally on the shaft, the perineum, around the anus opening, etc. Great for indirect stimulation. Love a wand vibrator. So you want to definitely start in the lower settings and build up. And, your nerve endings just might want to adjust the sensations a little bit. So you don't want to go too hard, too fast, actually, with anything, with a sex toy or with a partner or with sex at all. Always go slow. That is my very best advice. Go 5 times slower than you think you need to go with everything sexual. The Magic Wand is the legendary original wand style massager. They released it over 50 years ago. And these are really fun toys to play with for partnered sex. They have several different models right now. I am obsessed with their mini, but I love their Magic Wand rechargeable. This one is cordless. It's convenient. It's no longer plugged into the wall, but you could still buy their Magic Wand original. And it's got variable speeds, a silicone head, multi-functions. You will love the rechargeable. There's a great article on my site about all the ways to use a Magic Wand that you might not have thought about. So check that out too. It's sexwithemily.com/Magic Wand. So then we got prostate massagers. So prostate massagers are specifically designed to stimulate the prostate versus butt plugs, which are for all butts. A prostate massager can either be vibrating or non-vibrating. And what I love about these are they are very specifically fit into the prostate. So you just insert them through the anus. You can use them alone or you can have your partner use it on you. Use a lot of lube. And these are great, you guys. The results of prostate stimulation is a really deep, internal, incredible orgasm without penile stimulation. I mean, you could be stimulating your penis, but you don't have to be. Okay. So I liken this to the G-spot orgasm for vulva owners. You sort of find it in the same way too. It's about 1.5 inches inside. You could use a finger in a come hither motion going towards your belly button. But you could also use a toy, which is why prostate toys just fit perfectly. And they're amazing. There's also, like I said, butt plugs and anal beads. The butt plugs also stimulate deep internal nerve endings in the anus, but not quite the prostate. And anal beads are just really fun because the fun part about anal beads is they just stimulate the surface nerve endings and it just feels different as you pull them out slowly or quickly. They have just a different intensity. Again, we're talking about different ways to play your nerve endings. I love lube. Again, use lube. A lot of these toys are made of silicone. So you want to use a water-based lube. I'm obsessed with Playground lube, you guys, because with silicone toys, you have to use a water-based lube because silicone breaks down silicone. It is a body-safe lube. They use really quality ingredients. They help increase blood flow. They have ingredients in there that just to help with orgasms. They have great pop-top bottles that you just leave on your nightstand. I partner with Playground to offer you 15% off your first order. Just use code SEXWITHEMILY at helloplayground.com. Prostate massagers, you want to use a toy that is specifically for the prostate. And I'm obsessed with Aneros. Aneros they're all about prostate toys. Like that's what they do. They have so many different kinds. They are so specific and they really care. They really care about your prostate. They're designed to be more comfortable when they're inserted. You can move them laterally, up and down, in and out. If you want to play with the prostate, check out Aneros. And then delay sprays. All right. I know delay sprays are not a toy, but they do help you stay erect longer because many penis owners, they orgasm before they want to for many different reasons. You might even have an overgrowth of nerve endings. Well, delay sprays just help calm down those nerve receptors so your orgasm doesn't happen as fast. Now, this can be a game changer for penis owners who just have, unpredictable ejaculation. So you just simply spray this at the underside of the penis. You wait like 10 minutes and you're good to go. It doesn't transfer to a partner, which is incredible. You can also, for example, use it with a vibrating penis ring. You might think, oh, well, a penis ring is too stimulating. You could use the delay spray, then add the ring, wait 10 minutes, please your partner at the time, and you are good to go. I love Promescent's delay spray. Their technology ensures quick absorption, definitely won't transfer your partner, and they are just the best in the business. So if you want to check out Promescent, it's long lasting, easy to use. Been talking about them for years. Just go to promescent.com/Emily. That's PROMESCENT. Again, everything I mentioned is in the show notes. I'm going to take a short break. When we come back, I'll answer all your questions on sex toys for penis owners. Okay, this is from Ryan, 34 in Arizona. Hey, Dr. Emily, my wife is 36 and I've been married for 13 years now. Our sex life has been a roller coaster over the years, but I feel like it's certainly on the up. As you say, communication is the best lubrication. We've really been openly talking about it as of late. However, I can't seem to break the barrier of sex toys in the bedroom. That might seem initially like one of us want to start using them and the other one doesn't. No, we have a good sized collection for both of us. The part that concerns me, and I've tried to broach the topic with my wife, is she really seems to enjoy when I pull hers out for use, but mine are collecting dust. We haven't used any of mine, and I couldn't tell you how long. She just tells me she doesn't think about it in the moment. I try to hint at pulling them out, and she seems to ignore that I said anything. I could really use your help. I don't know why she won't use them on me anymore. Hope to hear your insight. Enjoy listening to your show. So Ryan, thank you so much for your question here. Okay, so just to recap, you're saying like you guys have great sex, you communicate, you've been together for 13 years, you guys have so many toys that you've picked out that you both love. You're all about using hers and she's just not pulling out yours. So here's a question for you. Are these toys clearly like in a place where she can easily access them? Meaning, like if you've got a whole drawer of toys and they're all commingled together, in the moment, is she going to be able to be like, that toy is for Ryan, and, is it charged and all the things? Because I have to tell you that someone who is challenged around organization, I've had these challenges where as you can imagine, have so many sex toys, and they're all, before I had help organizing them, they were all in a big drawer, and like sometimes they were charged and sometimes they weren't, and then I got frustrated, and then I just really needed help saying like, these are the 3 toys I'm using this week, this month. They're organized, they're ready to go. I'm reminded of them. They're sitting out and they're clean. Because what I can't imagine is, that's just my maybe she needs help. Either it's that, and I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt that she just needs help, saying like, oh yeah, these are the ones you want and here's where they are. Because sometimes also we're caught up in the moment. Like you're using toys on her. It feels incredible. She's having pleasure, orgasm. So maybe her brain isn't thinking about like, where's that toy and I have to find it. So maybe you could help facilitate that process. Now, the other thing here is that like, okay, let's say you're right. You're saying to me, well, she just cares about, her own pleasure. And what you're thinking is like, is she ignoring me? Does she not care about my pleasure? And it doesn't sound that way to me. So that's what I'm saying. Like the best thing you can do is outside the bedroom, rather than just, I'd love you to use toys on me as well, because we know that didn't work. You could say, I really want to talk to you about something. I just want to talk about our sex life. You can use the compliment sandwich, which is where you are, giving some advice, and it's surrounded on both sides by some compliments. So essentially you're saying, hey, sex has been so hot lately I love watching you orgasm with that toy I've been using. And, I know I've mentioned that I want you to use toys on me. And I'm wondering, this is the ask, the middle part of the sandwich. I've noticed that sometimes it's not happening. So I'm wondering if there's a reason why it's not happening, or is there anything I can do to kind of help make that happen, to facilitate that? And then the last piece of that would be, because I really hope if we both use toys, our sex life is going to be even better. So you close out the sandwich with another compliment, right? So it's a compliment, it's a request, and then a compliment. Okay. Then you'll find out if she's like, well, I just don't think your pleasure is as important as mine, or yeah, I actually don't like those toys. We're going to find out what it is, but I can't imagine that she's purposely thinking like, I don't want Ryan to have as much as pleasure as I do. So let's do a little bit of problem solving, a little bit, more communication around this, and see what happens. Okay, Ryan? Thanks for your email. Okay, this is from Julie, 42 in Houston, Texas. Hey, Dr. Emily, I have another question about toys. So welcome back, Julie. As mentioned in my previous message, my boyfriend and I are novices in toy exploration. I find it overwhelming when I look at toy stores, even your site, because there's just too many options and I don't know what is best. I totally relate to you, Julie. That is a real thing. I was given a recommendation to look for 1, a masturbation sleeve. There was one recommended, but it's crazy expensive. Would you know any cheaper recs? And then number 2, a prostate massager. We just started exploring anal plugs. Is there a massager for him that's the least overwhelming? Great questions. You have come to the right place. I also have an article on the site called How Do I Buy My Boyfriend a Sex Toy? That might help you and anyone listening. If you want to look into that article, we'll put it in the show notes. Okay, so let me tell you the masturbation sleeves that I'm into. So there's 2 kinds. There are masturbation sleeves that sort of vibrate, and there's ones that don't vibrate. So there's a sleeve that goes over your penis that kind of helps with masturbating, or you could masturbate him. But I recommend the fun masturbation sleeves that vibrate, like the Hot Octopus. They have the Pulse 3 Solo and the Pulse 3 Duo. Essentially, it's a sleeve, think of like a hot dog bun that goes around the penis and it vibrates. And the Duo just has vibration on the outside. So while you're using it on your partner, you could sort of ride on top of him and that could hit your clitoris, the Duo. But either one of them are great masturbation sleeves, and they have a little oscillator. It's like an oscillating vibrator. It goes around in circles and targets the frenulum. So that's one kind of sleeve. And the Hot Octopus, they're good company. I love them. They care a lot about penises, and they're always trying to innovate. The other kind of sleeve is like a fleshlight. That's a classic, been around for a long time. They have a masturbation sleeve, and they're the ones that it actually looks like a flashlight, but it's a flashlight. Get it? It's a flashlight. But you open the lid, and then inside of it is their material that sort of, they always say it looks and feels like the real deal, meaning it could look, if you choose, like a vulva, like a vagina, like an anus. And then you put his penis inside of it, and it has special ridges that just feel really great against all of those nerve endings, right? So that's why we like to use a masturbation sleeve. For a silicone sleeve, you definitely want to use a water-based lubricant because it lasts longer. Those are fun masturbation sleeves, and those are both priced around $100. Now, a really inexpensive option, the Tanga. Tanga makes these eggs, and those are just like fun, and they also have ones with ridges, and they have ones that you can dispose of. So prostate massagers, if you want one that doesn't vibrate, that's just a great massager, I recommend Aneros. Like I said, they are in the prostate business, and their toys are just made for stimulating the prostate. And if you want a really cool prostate massager vibrating toy, I highly recommend the Hugo by Lelo. So this can be used for coupled or solo play. It has 2 vibrating motors, one's in the base and one's in the tip. It's medium sized, so it's great for all levels of experience with prostate play. It also has a remote control, which is really cool because your partner can control it from that same room with you, like hands-free. Maybe it's in your pants and they're controlling it. I mean, just go crazy, use your imagination, have fun with the remote, and have fun with playing with your prostate. And Lelo makes really beautiful toys, so I think this is a wonderful gift. My listeners right now can get 25% off their entire order at Lelo, which is pretty awesome. Just use code Emily, and that's at Lelo.com, Lelo.com. Use code Emily. Get some fun toys. All right, thanks for your question. Appreciate you. This is from Pamela. Hey, Dr. Emily, I appreciate your podcast and resources. It's helped me a lot lately after so many years of my husband complaining of me not being interested in sex. We've noticed a lot of beautiful things these days. Well, I have a toy which he got me, and I want to give him one to see how pleased he will feel since I love mine. I have 2 already, but they did not fit because he's a large size. Do you have recommendations for a large penis? All right, so any of these sleeves I talked about would definitely work on a large penis. If you're looking for a vibrating ring, like a cock ring, which is for some reason I have a sense that that's what you are looking for here, Fun Factory has a really great one called the Nos, N-O-S. And what I love about this one is it's large in size and it has 2 little, it's like the ears of a rabbit vibe that stimulates the clitoris. So this is a win-win for the whole family. So I love this one. You can check that out. We can add a link in our show notes. And also, if you want to just try and find his size, Screaming O is a brand that makes a bunch of cock rings, and they have ones that are disposable and they have ones that are all different sizes. So then there's also the We Vibe Verge, and that's a cock ring for perineum pleasure. So it sort of goes around, actually when he's more flaccid and you stick his penis through, you can also put his balls in there and it stimulates the perineum, and that is called the Verge, the We Vibe Verge. All right, so start with those and see how it goes. Thank you so much for your question. That's it for today's episode. See you on Tuesday. Thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. Be sure to like, subscribe, and give us a review wherever you listen to the podcast, and share this with a friend or partner. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Sex with Emily. Oh, I've been told I give really good email. So sign up at sexwithemily.com. And while you're there, check out my free guides and articles for more ways to prioritize your pleasure. If you'd like to ask me about your sex life, dating, or relationships, call my hotline, 559-TALK-SEX. That's 559-825-5739. Or go to sexwithemily.com/askemily. Special thanks to Acast for powering the Sex with Emily podcast. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com.